Okay, we're back for more of the only real video game ever made, Kowloon's Game. Last week we paused in the middle of a dungeon. It's getting a bit late, so I didn't want to keep playing. I need to go have something to eat. So we'll pick up where we left off in the middle of that dungeon and hope that the notes that I have saved are decipherable for me a week later. I did write down what I was going to do next, and the real puzzle is going to be if I can make sense of whatever it is I wrote down in this text file. So last week, we started off by attending our first twins orientation meeting, but partway through that meeting, we were contacted by someone in. Oops, right, we are not on disc one. Contacted by someone in the chat room because she wanted us to go to her house and free her pet bird before it starved to death. She didn't actually say like why she needed us to do that, and she couldn't just go home and feed her bird herself. But I think the implication is that she's being held against her will by the snakes, which are the nefarious organization behind the whole twins thing. So she needed someone else to go and do it in her place. So we left early and went over to her house. And when we got there, the person who was in charge of the orientation, Lady Mafe, psychically projected herself into the bird and then caused it to explode, which was kind of rude. That's a little uncouth. So eventually, we need to do something about her. Right? We can't let that stand. We need to put an end to her. So that's on the checklist of things to do later. After that, we wandered around town. Eventually, we met up with some guy in a weird hat who lectured us a bit about the doing the rituals to free the four divine beasts again. And he opened up a pathway to a third district in Kowloon, which we hadn't been into before, Lung Chun Road. So we explored that for a bit. We met some people. The main character that we met in Lung Chun Road, her name is Anita Doll. She's a theater performer, and she's there looking for her brother. So good luck to her. And the big thing that eventually led us into this dungeon is that we learned that Xiaohei was here doing her own investigation. And at one point, she was just hanging out in front of a haunted theater, minding her own business, when the doors burst open and it sucked her inside. So now we're in this theater. I mean, we found out that well after the fact. Want to go in here? I think this is the door. So we're now in that theater trying to find her. The gimmick for this dungeon is that it's music based. I think we're going to pass by it. It's somewhere down here. Yeah, that kind of big diamond area in the center. There are four instruments being held there. I mean, it's instrument storage. So they're in storage there and they're broken, and we've been picking up parts to fix them. And each time we fix one, it plays a melody, which we then record on our tape recorder. And then playing that in a different part of the dungeon then gives us access to something else. So that's the progression loop of this dungeon. Where are we going? All right, on the second floor. Here, is this the room? Yeah, okay. So there's a down the holes in the floor here. If you walk on that, you will fall down onto the first floor and lose a bunch of time having to walk in a gigantic circle all the way back here. But theoretically, playing the third, I think it's the third one. Okay, yeah. For some reason, that arbitrarily fixes the floor. Is there a path? Yes, there's a path here. Okay. Got. What do I call this? Is this Propeller Man? Robots? Okay, this might be a Robert. Faucet doll. Does that look like it could be a faucet? Yeah, that could be a faucet. Okay, this is water element. I need earth to beat this. I cannot beat this with my current equipment. So we need to throw a bomb at this. And we got a bomb back. Excellent. Get a freebie. That opened a door. Super. There was another... Yeah, there might be a second enemy in here. It's on the shelf? Be on this landing somewhere. Yeah, okay. It's in the corner. Okay, so we've seen this encounter before with like the shifts between... Is it 4? Shifting between 5 different enemies. I've seen most of these already. The puppet monster is earth. Shark is fire. I've seen the fish on a wheel. I'm actually not sure that we have this fish on a cart. It's tree. Okay, I think these are actually like one of each type of element. Well, I just blast this with any element. Okay, nothing happened. Like, I think I've scanned this before and it said, like, nothing. Like, just all question marks. Yeah, question mark unknown element. You might just have to bomb this. Like, I could absorb this, but I'm at 4 elements, so if I absorb this successfully, like, the only thing I can get from this is earth, which will then refrigerate me. Which we could do, actually. Okay, so we did get earth from it. Alright, this room is now clear. Can I get down from here? Yes. No. Yes. Is there a doorway? There is a doorway here. That does open. Alright, cool. This might just lead to the same place as that other door, though. We'll see if this loops around. This dungeon has had at least one place where like there are barricades or whatever in the middle of a room, so even though it looks like it should connect out the other side, it actually doesn't. So it's possible that this doesn't in fact loop around, and there's a ankle-high wall around here that will block us from getting around. However, that is not the case. This does in fact just loop. Okay. This room here. There might be an encounter in here. Signal was a little weak, so I wasn't sure it was actually in here, but it was. Dartboard. Dartboard is metal. Use fire on metal. Nice. So this is a dead end here, but we do have an encounter. Let's clear this. Got fan. Is this fire? We will slurp that up. That's a dead end? Yeah, I guess this is a dead end. Okay. But one of the encounters that we did unlock an enemy door somewhere, so we need to backtrack and find out which red dot on the map I have is whatever just unlocked. Or we'll get our navigator to tell us what just unlocked. Okay, so this didn't open before, probably. Item up there. It's on the 3rd floor. I'm not sure that I can get up there right now. Walk across that. No. Okay. Item here. Grab this. Battery. Okay, that sounds like that might be what the last instrument needs. Yes, that's exactly what that does. Thanks, item description. So she said that the stages move up and down like lifts, so I'm curious if there's a control somewhere that we can use to change this layout. If there is, it doesn't appear that it's in this room. Indeed. We just picked up the part that we need to power up the last instrument, which I think is the toy monkey. We need to head back down to the instrument storage. Well, don't remember if it's the left room or the right room. All right, let's see. Now, if our navigator was correct, that will open up this door down here now. All right. Sick jams. Okay, so these platforms here, I guess, will also move when I play the song. So I wonder if I could have done that in the earlier stage room I was in. We might need to backtrack over there. But first, there is... Somewhere is it? I feel like it might be above. Nope, okay, it's right here. Never mind. This is tree element. So tree is weak to metal. All right. True. First off, we did see this from the second floor, so we can finally grab that. Good. That's just a bomb. Not important, but do love explosives. Now, there is an encounter somewhere here. Am I stuck on a corner? I think I was just stuck on a corner. Oh. Okay. I definitely didn't push that button again. Did I go all the way down? No, I was all the way down. Well, might be on a timer? Now it just automatically goes up and down? Okay, right here. It is on this stage platform. I have this. This actually might be a new enemy. We will... Some bone bug lass. Okay, I wasn't actually paying attention to what element that was, so we need to do that again. Earth, alright. Thanks. Okay, we will... slurp that up. Nice. Okay, let's play the song on this platform. No, okay. It doesn't seem to work here. That opens up. I think I was here already, and this door that I just walked through was locked. Maybe? Maybe not. Yeah, I'd use the stairs to come up here, I believe. This door was also previously locked. Definitely have not been up here before. I think taking this hallway down, assuming it connects, will take me back to one of those rooms where I could access it before, but there was an ankle-high wall that I couldn't walk over, so we couldn't actually progress through it. Okay, this is water. I've been saying this shit, been saying this. Yeah, so that area down there, I'll peek into it after this. We get chatted up again here. I was able to get down there, but then that doesn't actually go anywhere. This is not a doorway. There's that thing. I think it's in the room on the other side of this wall. Okay, can't get in here. Okay, we've got the weird encounter here. Let me try sucking this up now that I have 2 slots, and this won't game over me if I absorb one. Okay, that gave me Earth. It gave me Earth both times. Might just be a coincidence. Okay, I think I was down there already. I know that means. Time to save the video game. So the seal stones that the navigator mentioned, those are things that were blocking the pathway to this area of town we're in, Lungchun Road. And so we also have an objective here to destroy the seal stones, but the problem is we were told we need sawdust? Yeah, sawdust in order to break the seal stones. And we currently do not have any sawdust in our inventory. So I'm not sure that we can actually do anything about this right now. True. This is tree, fire, and metal. Yeah, okay. So we should just game over there, which is fine. I did save, so we can reload the save. I was testing there, doing like a real combat test for what happens with multi-element enemies. Because we encountered them once before, just a single time before. So this was another time to just test to see how this works. And if an enemy has more than one element, then you need to get rid of every single element. So each element it has is essentially 1 HP. And you need to either absorb each element or cancel out each element with another attack. Brass dance, tree, fire, metal. Can I survive this? I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Tree, fire, metal. I can absorb metal. The metal I can use on tree. So the plan is to blast this with water. Hope it doesn't kill me. Got it. Heal up. I'm going to absorb. Get metal out of it. And then we will, in turn, blast it with that metal to kill the tree element, and that will destroy this. That was a tricky encounter. We'll just go back and save, having done that. I can get in front of the save point. So there's the stealing stone, which we can't do anything about because we don't have any sawdust. Unless, like, one of these items that we have randomly happens to work on it. Usually, like in the past, the dungeons that we were doing in the first Kowloon district, the game locked us out of them very intentionally unless we had all of the items that we needed to clear the part of it we were supposed to do at any specific time. So I'm expecting that because the game didn't force us to pick up sawdust in order to enter this dungeon, we're not expected to break the stone on this time, and we'll come back later and do it. Or there's sawdust inside the dungeon itself, maybe. Or maybe we were supposed to go in there and try it and have nothing happen. Okay, well, we should clear this spot. I should mark this room for later. I probably will remember where this is, but we'll mark that for future reference. She said ride the stage back down. We're going to take a long way around. Can I fall down this? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did pick up that item already. I thought I'd picked that up, but I wasn't positive. No, I want to go down to second floor. I wanted to come back here and see if the funny music also causes this stage to move. The answer appears to be no. It's just that one on the left that's special. Okay. Okay. Cool. A little bit of movement lag in this one. There's a slowdown rather. A big room, lots of geometry in there. So this is where we would have come out if we'd taken the stage back down. That's not the exit. Maybe I do need to ride the stage down. I was expecting to have seen the navigator in order to get out of here. I'm not sure that I can actually like leave here through the front door. Oh, maybe I can. That's sure locked. Okay, maybe I need to go all the way back up and actually, in fact, take the elevator down. I think I need to walk in a big circle. There is another way to get back up to the third floor stage room. I did unlock a door that was locked previously. Did I? I need to find this staircase. I think this is the staircase. Or maybe this staircase then gives me access to the other staircase. Here we go. Switch back down. It activates whenever you walk on it. It's not on a timer, it's just when you walk on it, it turns back on. All right. Put the elevator back down. Did that do anything for me now? Still, this doesn't not seem to have done anything for me. Okay, this door was... Have I been here? I think I've been here. Yeah, I have been in here. I just didn't delete this, I think. That door is locked. That is correct. There are two of those red dots I can access from the bottom floor. The third one of them I need to actually take a different staircase to get around to. One of them was a door, a mouth opens up in the door and asks for an item, so we probably can't open that right now. The other one was just a normal locked door, which may or may not respond to the full song. So the blue door here is the face door. Yeah, that doesn't care. All right, this one. Nothing there. All right, cool beans. third dot I need to get from the first floor. There's a staircase in the central area that goes down. I think that was an enemy door, maybe? Here we go. This is how we get down there. Okay, no, it's actually an item door. And that is still locked. All right, so those are all dead. So where are we going? Go back down. Actually, just to pull up the basement 1 map. Where? Okay, so I've been through all of these except maybe some of the backstage areas. Okay. I don't know if I'm missing something like really annoying, like I need to play a song in front of just like a random open space and that causes a stairway to rise up, or if I'm missing something obvious. Because it feels like I'm just missing something obvious. You said take the elevator down. Maybe, maybe by not taking the elevator down, I broke something? I went a different way than the game expected me to go? So let me... There's a save. The save is just around here. Let me reload my last save. Instead, we'll just take the elevator straight down and see if that makes a difference. Okay, she's still not showing up. She said take the elevator back down to basement 1, and then she would take me out of here. So I'm expecting that like she would show up pretty soon after I exit the stage elevator room. Maybe I'm just there's a very specific spot you need to stand, and I'm just not getting inside the activation rectangle. I feel like I've been around these areas pretty thoroughly, just as a consequence of having run around here 5 different times already. That's instrument storage. I probably don't have to go back into there. But that's I keep getting japed by that dead end. That's not where you want to go. I go through here. Where am I going? There isn't actually like anything over here. And this goes up to the 2nd floor. It's probably further away from the spot that I need to be standing in order to progress the video game. Thinking about just like reloading the save from the beginning, seeing if I broke something. Maybe I should look up a guide before I actually waste time doing that. In case the solution is not that I broke something, the solution is in fact that I'm not standing in the correct location. Okay, let me see if there are any guides for this video game. Uh, 16. Okay, 16. That's really long. That is true. We are in a really long dungeon. Did I miss something? Okay, looks like I might have just missed an interaction point. Also, it's giving instructions that I don't understand, but I don't think I did before. Also, just like in excellent news, there's a big bold line here in the guide that says, "Make sure you save, and due to a bug, make sure it is a separate save file." I don't know what bug it's referring to. I assume that's mentioned earlier in the guide. Could I scroll up and find out? Probably. Am I going in the right direction? I went too far. So back here, I kind of noticed it earlier, but on the wall here, there was a weird face. Okay. That's actually just a dude. So the reason that I didn't really pay attention to that dude earlier is because there was another room where there were paintings on the wall, so I assumed that was just like a weird painting and not actually something I could interact with. No, that's actually just a man in the wall. Okay. Watch that again. We'll see. Now we'll take the stage back down and see if that was what was preventing us from progressing here. Okay, well, we still seem to be trapped in jail. Now, let me see if the part of the instructions that I don't understand are in fact what is required for me to leave this joint or something, to go through the door. That takes me down to the place. The problem with the instructions is that I don't know if it's presenting to me like an alternative, like I could take two different paths down, or if it's presenting this as a sequential order of operations. Because if it's sequential, I just don't understand what it's directing me to do. First, we'll ride this back up and then back down again. So, like, when you exit the control booth, Honey Lady will appear again. And that's what she did. She showed up did a rad flip, expressed puzzlement about the location of sawdust, and told us to ride the stage down. Okay. So use the stage on the left to go down to the basement. If you use the stage on the right to go down, you will find some stairs. Problem is, none of these stages go down except the one on the left, so I don't know how you're supposed to use the stage on the right to find some stairs. I don't know if it means like use the stage on the left if you use the stage on the right. That's saying you could use either of them, or if it's saying like after you use the stage on the left, then use the stage on the right. So there isn't a stage on the right after you use this. Oh, maybe I can just keep going this way. Okay, here it is.
舞台の真下にモーター室があったはずだけど、ここからじゃいけないね。一旦表に出るかい?
Okay, so I was in fact just not going to the right place. Game wasn't bugged. Probably I just didn't realize that you could leave, walk off the stage on that side. So I don't think we've been here before. Maybe we have? Well, in any case, now that we're out here, I'm going to go grab some water now that we're out of that dungeon. And when I get back, we'll explore wherever it is we are now. We'll figure out how this connects with Lungchun Road. Yeah, all right. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Spilled my water just a little tiny bit walking back here. Truly an auspicious omen. All right, well, let's figure out where the hell we are. So Longchan Underground is an area that we saw a doorway to last week, but we couldn't actually get into it. I don't know if this is the same doorway. I don't think it's the same doorway, because I don't think we found the bathroom before. That might be the way out. It's also currently locked, so we're not leaving there. This guy. Celebrity photo seller.
Anita かい？ベロニカかい？あんたのお気に入りはどのタイプかね？今夜もレビューが楽しみだよ。あんたもどう？こんなの持って行ってやったらあの子たち喜ぶよ。
Okay.
妙だね。さっきまでおがくずは4袋あったのに1つしかないよ。一体どこに消えたんだい？まあ足りない分はまた劇場の中で見つけることだね。アニタもそうやって集めたんだ。あんたにできないわけないさ。
Just meet a weirdo. Just randomly hands us a bag of sawdust. Thanks.
さっきまでおがくずは4袋あったのに。
Door's still locked. Tockley Hall is now open. Oh, okay, that was just a completely separate exit out of the dungeon. Interesting. And we found another face door. Cool beans. That is super locked. All right. That's the only thing we can do there. So I think there isn't a staircase marked here on the map. I think this door here is implied to be the exit that we just took into Lungchun Underground. Okay, so I guess we'll ride this back up to the 3rd floor. And season that stone liberally with a bag of sawdust. We're now on 18. Apparently we skipped an entire number in between that last save. Is leaving to get the sawdust, and coming back in here was its own little like mini chapter for some reason. Sawdust. Alright, take that, a rock. We get yapped at.
石の一つはこれで OK ね。でもまだ気脈が完全じゃないところを見ると、他の石には別なグイリーが取り付いている可能性もあるわね。私ちょっと気になることがある。だからあなた先に戻っていて。ダクレイホールの前までなら送る。いいね。
I guess. Tockley Hall is the second basement of the theater, apparently. Okay, so can't go upstairs.
Ah, あんた惜しかったね。今夜のレビューにアニタは出られないんだって。アニタはね、本当にいい子なのよ。ここだけの話だよ。私はね、踊り子たちの中でアニタが一番気に入ってるんだ。あの子、本名はツイジェンって言うんだけど、知ってるだろ？女以上に女なんだよ。
Doxed?
心の中までまるっきりね。
There really isn't much to like do around here, so okay. I'm talking to photo seller opened up the door. Okay, so yeah, that was the entrance that we saw last week into Lungchun Underground. So now we can finally make it into there. All right, so now we're back Lungchun Road properly. I guess we'll try to remember what the layout of this place is as we go around and figure out what we can do now that we're back. Our ultimate goal, I guess, is to find more sawdust. I think every other door that we have access to inside the theater is blocked off in one way or another, so we're going to need something else to either just open up the plainly locked doors or to appease the wall faces. Now, Rich is the bartender at the hotel. He's the guy who we've talked to a lot. This is the first time he's emailed us, though. Same. I also don't trust this Onmyo horrendous static noises. All right, where are we at now? We're at 19. Supreme Compass. Okay, sure. Is that something we've heard about? I feel like that's something we heard about. Did Anita have the Supreme Compass? Maybe she just talked about the Supreme Compass? Okay, so a couple of weeks ago we had gotten an eyeball from some guy who melted. Just randomly, it's fine, don't worry about it. And then last week we ended up giving it to this curio merchant who was going to wash it off for us because we picked it up off the floor. It was kind of dirty. So now that it's nice and clean, apparently we can open doors with it. It appears to have a limited amount of uses. We can open exactly 13 doors with it. Uh, I'm not sure if this is the kind of thing where I can accidentally, end up using it in the wrong place or repeatedly on something I'm not supposed to, and then use up all the uses and then totally ruin my ability to complete the video game. Or if there are in fact exactly 13 places you can use the eyeball in the entire game. No, it's her.
これが兄のラバン。まるであなたに使ってもらう日を待っていたかのようよ。
Thanks.
やがて風水は現れる。兄が残した言葉よ。人間は一人一人が小さな器。その器に生きる目的を与える力がきっとどこかにある。兄はそれを風水に求めたの。
The divine choices are the rituals that we are eventually going to do in order to summon the 4 divine beasts. So this does, in fact, seem to be a somewhat important item that we will presumably need at some point in the future. All right. I wasn't actually expecting that to do anything, but I guess we get a nice screen here. All right. Have you seen my eyeball? All right. She doesn't care.
ねえ、シャオヘイさんには会ったの？まさか彼女、劇場に入ったんじゃないでしょうね。劇場の中は仕掛けだらけ。ひょっとすると、シャオヘイさんは捕らえられたかもしれない。劇場の中のことを伝統屋さんに聞いてみて。
A light blob, okay. Okay, apparently there are 3 face doors. If you let memories possess your heart, you'll never escape the haunting thoughts that follow. So we'll keep poking around. I don't know if we're going to head back into the theater from the underground, which is the Tockley Hall entrance, or if we just head back through the um, above ground theater entrance. We did get a blue light bulb, which means we can probably also open the blue door in basement 1. Still looking for sawdust, though. I don't know if the sawdust is in here. Well, I think it's implied that the rest of the sawdust is going to be inside the theater somewhere. No real important info so far on this side of the district. There's still one more person to talk to here. I don't think I used the eyeball on this person over here. I don't think there are any people down here, but this is where the entrance to the theater that we took last time was. So we'll see if we can come back in here. I think the game is probably suggesting that we should take the Tockley Hall entrance into it, though. So I'm not expecting this to actually do anything. We'll save here because there isn't a save spot downstairs. Alright, so downstairs is actually out of here. There we go. Before we see if we can get back into the theater, we will try and fail to use the eyeball on this guy. Alright, we're fine.
ここは
Oh,
いろんな
you
病
dialogue.
が流行っているから用心しないと。さっきもベロニカがやってきて言うんだ。体中が痒くてたまらないって。見たところ別に何でもないんだけどね。
She got the mange.
本人はそれでも痒くて痒くて体をよじっていたよ。踊りの衣装がちゃんと着られないってしまいには涙ぐんでね。
He keeps talking about Veronica. I don't know that anyone else has mentioned Veronica prior to this person. I don't remember if any of the NPCs here talked about Veronica last week. Yeah, okay. We do, in fact, have entrance back into the joint. Excellent. So he probably wants us to go downstairs immediately and use the red light bulb on the red face door, which means that instead of doing that, we're going to go around. We have to take this elevator up and then back down. And we're going to use the blue light bulb on the blue face door. Or we are trapped here forever. How dare you? The stage is now back up on the 3rd floor. I perhaps play the song and cause the elevator to come back down. I don't expect this to work. Okay, we cannot lower the elevator onto ourselves and crush ourselves to death. Very disappointing. I guess we'll go downstairs where we're supposed to go. Over here. Okay, interact with it first. Here's your tasty light bulb. Okay. We have red aura here. Not sure what that's about. A different enemy type?
そうだよ、思い出したよ。見えない扉だよ。見えない扉がどこかにあるんだ。あんたも注意して見ていてね。
Get rid of that. So we did, in fact, make our way in here. There, I guess it's on the other side of this wall here. Okay, that's a green. For reference, the color aura that shows up, if it's pink, that means it's a normal enemy that will go away forever once we destroy it. Green is an enemy that will respawn instantly whenever you defeat it. So it's there primarily in case you need to get an element type. So we haven't seen red before, I don't think. So I'm somewhat concerned about what that could potentially mean. This room looks like it's just a complete dead end on the map. In here, nope, it's one of the side rooms somewhere. That's locked. Where are you? There you are. This is metal. I'll roast it. This is locked. Tape recorder probably isn't going to do anything down here. Okay, eyeball does work, however. Health, excellent. Bomb, excellent. Dead end, excellent. That's not quite a dead end. There is another door in there. On the right wall. Yeah. Okay. This, however, is dead end, excellent. So I think this side is all done now. Yeah, I think we're good. So zoom that open. Okay. So this just goes straight ahead. Here, to the right here, is a big mess of hallways. This is a cul-de-sac. There's no exit out of here. At least that's marked. But there could be enemies or items stuck in here. Or there just could be absolutely nothing. But the aura hasn't gone off, so if there were enemies around here, there would probably have been an aura. Am I going to open? Yes. There is one item on the floor, however. Excellent. Alright, so there are more rooms that way. That's pretty far. Do you want to take the stairs up? Okay, so that's locked. So this down here is going to lead us back up into basement 1 of the theater. Okay, that's what we need to get through this door. Now that we're here, we can... Feed him. He's hungry. There's also a blue aura here. It seems to be because of the doors. Kind of weird. Okay, I need to step forward. How do I? Okay. I've just discovered that I don't, in fact, need to be standing on space in order to delete its marker. If I just hit the A button and go into edit mode, I can scroll through all these. Health. Standing. There's an enemy somewhere. Yes. Fighting time. This is tree elements. Do we have metal? We do have metal. All right, that should open up the way back to the first floor. I can figure out how to get out of here. That's a drop off. Okay. Delete. Okay. Delete that. Okay, this is open now. Outstanding. That door's been locked for a very long time, so we can finally use this staircase easily. I'm not sure that we want to take this to all the way up to the 3rd floor, though. This is a dead end, I think, on this side. Yeah. I'm going to go up here. There should be another staircase coming up on the right. This takes us up to the control room. Thanks, buddy. So now, oh. I should say first. Been a little bit. We've done an amount of progress, so we'll save here. Still in 19? Nope, 20 light bulbs. True. This chapter is, in fact, about light bulbs. That's not correct. Was a door here on the right? Yes. Elevator time. Oh. Loading zone time. Then elevator time. Is that door open yet? Probably not. Nope. No, not that door. This door here on the left. Got another maze of tiny rooms here. Oh. Yellow door. I assume we're going to have the yellow aura around this for some reason, yeah. Don't know why that's a thing. So... this is a dead end through here. There's no items. So we have 2 doors up this way. Right is another dead end. Anything to collect in here? Nope. Okay, there's an enemy close by. Not in this room. Somewhere around here. There it goes. Okay, we have this thing that we need to bomb. I've been picking up a lot of explosives lately, which is nice. That opened something somewhere. That was probably the Guilu that was locking the upper right door. So now we need to walk in a gigantic circle all the way back there. Is this where we're going? Indeed. A motor appreciator. Was that the place I wanted to go? Yes. I just turned in the wrong direction. Staircase. We want the back door. Is it this? No. Left turn, and then all the way up here. Then this door here. Okay, we got more sawdust. But we don't have a place to use it quite yet. But he moved the stages around, so I suspect that that probably has now given me somehow access to another room I haven't been to yet that has a seal stone in it. And the right stage is on the first floor now. Not facing the right direction? Where are we? We're going to take a loop here around the control booth. Where there happens to be a save spot. Let's drop down here. Yep. Stairs down. We're going to go down to the first floor, and then there is a door to the stage area on the first floor from here. Through here. Now this elevator is here. Now I have access to something else somewhere. Enemy looks like it's through this door. Where are you at? This side? Okay. I think I walked around it. Okay, got birdcage. Have I seen this? This is a new encounter. Birdcage last. Fire, metal, water. All right. Okay, so I need to heal here before we expire. I might need to heal twice. Okay, so we absorb fire, so it's now just metal and water. So we need to cast water on it, and we need to cast fire on it. Could also suck up the fire now. Oh, never mind. What does it have left? Okay, I apparently was not correctly keeping track of its elements. That's fine. We saved. And now that we know where it is in that room, we can hopefully take less damage going into that counter next time. first floor. Since we're back here, let me poke around the perimeter of this a little bit and see if there's anywhere else I could go around here. No, okay. It seemed like a spot where there could potentially have been an item. Let me scan this again just to make sure that I correctly recorded what elements this thing has. Okay, this is fire, metal, and water. I did write that down, okay. Right now it has all three active. Now, absorbed metal, so it's now only fire and water. So I get rid of the water. I cast earth on it. Okay, so now it's only fire, and now I can absorb the fire, and that should take care of it. Okay, there we go. I'll just do the fight properly, and it works. Rock. It's 2 stones down. We have 1 extra sawdust, so we're still looking for 1 more. I have a feeling that the next progression here is we're going to need to find a motor somewhere and feed it to Motorman, so that he'll schmoove the stages around and give us access to somewhere else.
ねえ、石が人を封じているとすると、まだ他にもあるんじゃないかな。そんな気がしない？とにかく流進路に送るね。今度はちゃんと地上に出られるから。
I don't remember exactly where the motor supplier is. Yeah, we had another NPC saying that 1 seal stone is located outside of the district, probably. here he is. My man. Okay, he's telling us we should go to Anita first. So we'll talk to every other NPC first.
あんたもよほどアニタがお好みみたいだね。うちにはアニタのブロマイドがたくさんあるよ。もちろんベロニカのもあるけど、どれも私の宝物さ。
Alright, still weird. Yep. Same old light bulb. Just still a door. Okay, so this guy is in fact telling us to use the eyeball on NPCs. Okay, his terminal is also doing the weird. An email from Connie Yang. This is the person that asked us last week to go to her house and free her bird. The terminal in the hotel back in Kowloon front is also doing this weird. And the hotel owner thought that Xiaohei had done something to it. But since this one is also doing the weird, maybe there is something else going on with the broken terminals. Maybe. That was not the correct direction.
Kimi wa Zuijenに頼まれたのか。Zuijenが近くにいるのか。懐かしい弟の声が聞こえる。ここでは心中となる宿命を背負った人間が見立てを受けるのだ。私は まさか自分がその宿命を背負っていることとは知らず、白虎の流血にたどり着いた。その時、暗い力が私のすべてを覆い尽くしたのだ。何が起こったのかはわからなかった。ただ、心中の力と横島な力が私の中で戦っているような。そして心と体が引き裂かれるような苦しみの中で、私は石にされてしまった。だが今や10年の歳月が私を無に帰してくれた。君こそが私を見立てるのだ。私の体を封じているすべての石を取り除いたその時に。
Okay, so we found Anita's brother. We also learned that Kuijian is male, so unclear if Anita Doll is now trans or simply a drag performer, based on the time this game was released and the fact that her theater appearance looks to be kind of a burlesque outfit. We're going to assume that she is a drag performer as Anita Doll. This is her brother. Found out why he's been missing. It's because he is one of the 4 people who is supposed to perform the ritual for the Divine Beast, and he's been trapped. All right. So now that we've talked to Suijian, back to the motor supplier, who is not in this direction. It's over here, this dude. A Supreme Motor. Oh, the Supreme Compass, and we have a Supreme Motor. Alright. So I'm going to hope the entrance that we want is the underground, because that's a much shorter walk. Although I guess we have a shortcut now. So it's not actually like that much shorter. Is that the way we want to go? Hell, which way? We want to go this way. Okay. We are, in fact, entering this side. Outstanding. Yeah, they're actually probably about the same distance. There's no red ore around the door anymore. Okay, so the glow was in fact just the light bulbs. So it wasn't an enemy aura, it was just a visual effect to show that the door is glowing. That's, again, not correct. I too glow when I eat a light bulb, so that checks out. I'm actually going like in the insanely wrong direction. That way was the way that unlocked the way to the motor room, which is in fact directly by the staircase. Here we go. So, okay, that wasn't me caught in a cutscene. That was me caught in the doorway. Here you go, buddy. Enjoy that. Cool beans. I'm also stuck in a doorway again? Yes. Oh, this terminal also busted. All right. Get to the third floor stage. We can just come around this side and fall down and get yapped at. Boss fight? Question mark? So there was no stage up here originally. This was just a dead end room. Now we have access to that back series of rooms, which we have not been able to get into before. There's nothing over here. There's nothing over here. Yeah, that's the left side stage, which we've been able to get into the whole time. Not the whole time, since the start of the stream. Green. Time for definitely not a trap. Does this move again? It goes up and down, okay. There is a guy on this floor somewhere. What's this? Lazy Susan. Tree, earth, water. Okay, so what's the plan here? Tree, earth, water. So we can absorb the earth. We just have tree and water left. Earth is used on water. Okay, so we'll use metal on it to clear the tree. Absorb earth, earth on water. Okay. A little spicy there. All right, there's our last sawdust. Excellent, excellent. That opened up a door. We'll backtrack and see if that's that green door. In order to do that, we'll need to kind of do a loop around here. Is there another door here? Was that a door here the whole time? Yes, okay. What it is there's a dead end here I didn't take before.
主さんは封印の部屋にいるわ。私はまた一眠り。またしばらくこの世界とおさらば
来てくれたのね。ありがとう。
All right, we found her.
劇場の前に立っていたら急に吸い込まれるような感じでこの部屋に来ていた。どうしてもあなたに知らせたいことがあって追いかけたの。私、陰陽師と連絡取ったって言ったでしょ。彼、あなたをどこか遠い時代に送り届けるようなこと言ってた。それは彼のところに代々伝えられる書物に書かれているんだって。すべてはあなたが来てから始まる。あなたのこと知らないはずなのにあなたを待っている。私にもすごくわかるの。本のことを話しているとき、あなたに姉の印象を強く感じたもの。同じよね。どう？陰陽師の話、あなたも信じられる？私が体側人形を探してるのも陰陽師の指示よ。そうだ、もうリーホンが見つけてくれてるかもしれない。取りに行かなきゃ。陰陽師のところに来て。あなたにとってとても大切な話らしいから。
あなたが探していたのはこの子のことで、どうするの？二人いっぺんには送れない。どっちが先に戻るの？
あなたはここのナビっていうのはあなたなの？私、この人に伝えたいことがあって迷惑かけてしまってごめんなさい。
まあ、これで私もちょっとはお役に立てたみたいね。それにしてもよくこんなひどいところに。
どうしても知りたいの、姉のこと。今私の中に何が起きているのか知りたいのよ。それに小さな島の夢も。
分かった分かったよ。もう話は伝えたのね。じゃああなたを先に送るから。用意はいいね。
私は体側人形を陰陽師のところに持っていくわ。彼の話も聞いてみたい。あなたも来て。
体側だって？あんたもずいぶん変なこと知ってるのね。さ、いいね。行くわよ。
So I guess when they leave the dungeon, that's what happens. You just get blasted out. Alright. That's locked now. Great. Alright. And just walk out one door, and now it's our turn to get blasted out. Just throws us into the air, and then we're out of the dungeon.
今度はあんたの番よ。用意はいいね。これで私もお役ごめん。ゆっくり休みをもらうわ。
I hope there wasn't anything in that second floor that I wanted to get. Apparently we're not going back there. Okay. Funny Hat Man's around again. Geezer, all caps. Maybe the buildup in magnetic energy is why the terminals are acting funny. Okay, so we did see the bathroom down there before, so maybe the seal stone is around there somewhere, and now maybe do something about that. That's exactly how we got in here from Kowloon Front, because the way into here from Kowloon Front is also blocked off by the seal stones. So the guy in the funny hat did something weird with the doorway that let us in here.
あいうOKですか？今の女の子は無事にクーロンフロントへ送り返しました。3つ目の石は今ユウが降りてきた階段の下です。あそこの部屋はどうやら封印されていたようです。今は封印が半分ほど消えかかって中に入れます。プリーズ、石を崩してください。 ああいう OK ですか？ああ、追善を近くに感じる。最後の石はこの流進路からどこかに運び去られてしまったままだ。おそらく心中の見立てを阻止しようとする者の力で。私を襲った暗い力、寝台の僧侶を即身仏に変えたのも同じ力に違いない。私はまだ解放されていない。さあ、最後の石を見つけてくれ。そこで改めて白虎の龍脈をつなげよう。私はそこに現れる。四神獣をすべて見立てることによって初めて風水は起こる。すべての神獣が見立てられない限り、私の力もまた尽きてしまうのだ。最後の石を取り除かない限り見立ては不可能だ。急いでくれ。
So Xiaohei told us that the Onmyoji is going to send us to a distant era, I think was what the phrase was, and then Suijian just now told us that we are apparently going to the Qing Dynasty, so looking forward to time travel in this game for some reason.
いやはや、アンビリーバブルです。人間を神獣に見立てるとは。彼は見立てを妨げる何者かに石にされていたのですね。封印のストーンですね。神獣の力を横取りしようとした者がいるのでしょうか。さあ、クーロンフロントまで送りましょう。
You're doing the wall thing again. Disc change. Well, that's the area that we were down to. That's where we met him the first time, and he opened up a door in the left wall here that took us to Lungchun Road. So that is once again blocked off, so we're now trapped in Kowloon front for the time being. So I think I'm going to do here is we're just going to go to the nearest save spot, which is probably the hotel. Maybe it's the Twin Center. And then we'll just save there and call it quits for this week. And next week we'll come back and loop around Kowloon front and talk to everyone and see what there is to do to progress here. Apparently get sent back in time. Oh, okay, the terminal is now just flat out broken. Excellent. All right. So I guess we have to go to the Twin Center if we want to save the video game. Oh, yeah, that's correct. Let's see where we're on 24. So as far as chapter numbers go, we made a big chunk of progress this time. That's pretty good. Although they seem to vary wildly in their length, so that's probably not necessarily a good gauge of how much progress we made. But yeah, we did some stuff. Cleared out that dungeon. It's pretty nice. So next week we'll continue with Kowloon's Gate. Presumably we're going to try to find the Onmyoji, given that's the chapter title. And I guess we're just going to be walking around in circles talking to everyone until we find wherever it is we're supposed to go. So look forward to more of that when we resume this game next time.